Growing up, I shared a bedroom with my older brother. We got on pretty well, although he seemed to believe that it was his birthright to be able to wind up his younger brothers and sisters at times. Yet at night, we would have these long running battles. See, I was a really light sleeper, and the slightest noise or disturbance would wake me up, and I would be grumpy when I woke up. A habit that I think getting married and having two kids has snapped me out of. But my older brother was a really heavy sleeper. I would often shake our bunk beds to try and flip him over or stop him snoring and try and fall asleep before he did and never be successful. And I guess for his part, he just constantly kept getting woken up by this grumpy little brother when he was in the middle of a deep sleep. It all peaked when he got a bit older and he got a job where occasionally he would have to work nights. And for some reason that I cannot understand to this day, in our tiny bedroom, he seemed to believe that his bed kept moving. Because I don't have any other explanation for why, when he came in the early hours of the morning, he felt the need to fling on every single light in the house and blind me and wake me up. When light shines and we are in darkness, it is painful. It hurts. It wakes us up. Something that is positive and that helps us a lot of the time, when it's unexpected, can be traumatic and difficult. We have just read in John chapter 8 through our teaching series that Jesus proclaims himself to be the light of the world. But not everyone responds to this light positively. Some people respond to it like they've just had all the lights switched on whilst they're in the middle of a deep sleep. In John chapter 9, verses 1 to 12, our Lent reading for today, this theme carries on. But it carries on by Jesus healing a man who has been blind from birth. It's an incredible story, astonishing. And we see the reaction of all these different people as they start to process just what Jesus has done here. But this whole episode starts with this really weird question from the disciples. His disciples asked him, "Rabbi, who sinned, this man or his parents, that he was born blind?" What a strange question to ask about someone in pain. What an inappropriate question to ask about someone's disability. And yet, we spend a lot of our life trying to process the source of the pain that we go through. Is our pain self-inflicted? Do we not live the life we lead because of the mistakes and habits that we have, because of some flaw deep within us? Or do we go through some of the trials and difficulties in life because of the harm that others have done to us? It's a strange question to ask of a man born blind, because the options are that there is a God who is so angry at the sins of a couple they would cause a disability in their son. Or that somehow, maybe a little bit like Jacob and Esau wrestling in the womb, this man was able to sin before birth in such a way that he was born blind. Or God knew that he would be such a sinner later in life that he never gave him the gift of sight. Jesus says it's neither. This happened so that the works of God might be displayed in him. In this man's pain is the opportunity for the presence of God to come. Today, where do you find yourself? Do you find yourself blinded by who you are and your mistakes? Do you find your sight obscured by the conflicts with other people, the hurts and harms, the ways that other people have wronged you? Jesus says, it is your healing, not your hurt, that will define you. It is in the healing that Jesus wants to show you who he is and who you truly are, not through the bad situation that you find yourself in. So today's Lent reflection raises a really simple question. Maybe for you, there is an obvious way that you can think that you have sinned or been sinned against. But actually, maybe for some of us, the hurt that we're experiencing is just the hurt of this current situation and circumstance. The question comes, what is God teaching you? I don't think God caused some of the difficulties that we're walking through. But I do believe that God will use it for our healing. He will use it for our good. He will use it to teach us who He is. What is God teaching you in this season?